What's happening, guys, and welcome back. My name is Leef and today we're going to be going in studio trying to get some portrait lifestyle type looks. We're going to go into this beautiful daylight studio. I'm going to walk you guys through how we created the shots that we created, and I also want to talk to you guys about why a session like this kind of felt like therapy. Let's go. I don't know if you guys can relate, but a few months ago I was just in a real weird creative rut, and it was hard for me to create and feel fulfilled by what I was creating, and that can be really frustrating as an artist. I knew I'd be in LA and I'd have some time in my hands, so I hit up my muse. And we got in the studio and kind of just let creativity flow without a lot of direction. Now, normally there's a lot of planning, a lot of prep, pre-production for a photo shoot and, getting it done. But I just wanted to get in the studio, figure it out on the spot. So we got a bunch of clothes options, and once we narrowed it down, we just got to creating. Now, before we continue, guys, please leave a like, drop a comment, let me know you guys' thoughts, subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. I personally would love to create more BTS videos and more videos like this for you guys, and it really helps with the engagement. For this first look, we wanted to keep it really simple and use that beautiful sunlight that was coming through the window. We had already talked briefly about using a lot of movement and dance within the shots, so I made sure to keep my shutter speed really high. I think I was around 320, give or take. But I really wanted to cut any blur or as much blur as I could from the moving shots, since she was going to be moving really fast and really fluidly. I was feeling really experimental in studio, so I tried all the angles I could think of at the time, moved around the room freely, really played around with the sunlight, played around with my subject and the angles. It's sort of like a dance sometimes, trying to move around and find your angles. I know it's not everyone's style to get out there and just, create with no real plan or real structure, but there's something really fulfilling and unmatched about creating nothing literally to something beautiful in a matter of hours, give or take, or days, or however long it takes you to create, and without any expectations. For the second look, we needed a little assistance from this fan. I wanted to create some form of movement since she'd be up on the ledge. For the first look, we really used the room and she was able to move around a lot. And I wanted to use the room completely different for each look. So for the second look, we went up towards the window. It had a beautiful ledge that she could sit up top. And now I did use the natural light. It was creeping up on the wall and towards the window, and it looked beautiful. I couldn't not use it. But I did want it to look completely different, have its own personality separate from the first look. And I'm on the same type of time as far as getting my angles. I'm a big fan of not being afraid to get your angles. You have to be bold about getting your angles. Move things out of the way, move people out of the way, move how you need to move to find your angle. It's important, it's your perspective, when it's permitted at least, If you're on set and you have a structure there, if you're in nature and you have a tree there, you can't move a tree. But, there's other ways to get creative. But when you need to, find your angle. For this last look, I wanted it to be dramatically different. So I put up a strobe light with a grid on it. I put it pretty high and far away from the subject. I really wanted to get in control, some hard shadows, make it really dramatic. I hooked the strobe light up to my camera using a wireless transmitter so that I could move a little more freely while shooting. This to me was one of my favorite looks in the session. It was completely different than the other looks. We embodied a whole different energy here, and it really blew my mind. And that's why creating freely is so important. Sometimes just going out there and creating without expectations, you can just let your ideas flow limitlessly and really get in there and really create something beautiful. And you may not necessarily have meant to create it, but it comes out that way in the way it's supposed to. And it felt exactly how it was supposed to. That whole session felt like therapy. Me and my muse, we talked the whole time and chatted, and it was great. So I left that session feeling nice and relieved and a lot more lighter about creating freely around myself and others. And sometimes you need that as a creative. So if you haven't in a while, and if you've been feeling yourself in a creative rut, go out there, find someone you really like to shoot, and try and do a session where you just get to create freely. No expectations. And that is a wrap for our shoot. You know what I mean? We gets it done and efficiently and quick and on time, you know?